Okay. Hey guys, Trevor Hold here. Welcome to my podcast. This podcast is just going to ask one question. Who are we, and what do we stand for? Possibly that's two questions, but identity, I believe, is a big part of ourselves and how we fit into the community, which has a big impact on a lot of these major social issues that are occurring: domestic violence, youth crime, and suicide. I believe identity has a big part to play in finding our identity and understanding who we are as individuals, but also as a collective group in society, which will help us with boundaries, expectations, and what we're going to accept as an individual and as a community in regards to hot topics like abuse and bullying and all that sort of stuff. So this is a podcast just based on that philosophy that I just going to look at try to interview different people and get answers to who we are and what we stand for. Just publish it publicly on YouTube, and I'll put some links on LinkedIn just to give some people some insight. Generally, as humans, it's not the bright lights and good vibes that you see on TV all the time in Hollywood, where things are perfect and the world is amazing. Obviously, different people fit in differently and have different views on a lot of these issues. And I think by exploring who we are and what we stand for, I think we can get to some good, healthy topics of conversation moving forward. And also awareness. If we're aware of different people's identities as a collective, then that could help empower us to make better decisions and think more broadly about different issues in society. So as this is the first one, I'll just get us started just with myself. Like I said, my name's Trevor Hold. I stand for action, results. I'm not one to sit back and just talk. Not only do I talk the talk, but I walk the walk. Over the last 4 years, since turning 40, I've been on a journey just to try and help people. After 20 plus years career in projects and design, working in the construction and mainly construction, mining and manufacturing industries, which all are high risk in suicide industries, probably predominantly male industries as well. I decided that things haven't been too bad for me. I watched my peers get divorces and have struggles and occupational accidents and all sorts of issues throughout my project career. I've worked overseas in New Zealand, Papua New Guinea, and went over to a few different projects overseas in Armenia and whatnot. So I got a pretty good diverse experience in projects and the stresses it can cause and the impacts it has on families and individuals and families alike. So I'm turning 40. I thought, well, I'm going to try and I got through it and navigated through that quite all right. Still got my sanity. Still managed to keep my relationship going and raise my family and prosper to the best of my ability. So I thought perhaps I could start to try and help others achieve some similar results. So I started with my mental health certificate. I got set for mental health, enrolled in that. Then I completed my diploma in counselling, which I've done throughout the COVID years, which was quite challenging. And now I'm studying a Bachelor in Psychology, trying to learn how to better assist people living with trauma, and initially focused on suicide prevention. Obviously, over 3,000 people every year die by suicide, and that's tragic just in itself, but also that leaves thousands of family members and close friends and family to deal with the pain. So one of my big inspirations was to try and stem that number, because a lot of that was coming from the high-risk industries of mining, construction, and manufacturing. So addressing that, I felt would be beneficial. But lately, last few years anyway, I've been made aware of a lot of other major traumatic circumstances that people find themselves in, including domestic violence, and more recently even youth crime has been a huge problem here in Queensland. So relating all that back down to identity, I think for me is something that I can do to help the situation. Obviously, I'm not in a position of power to make change in legislative responses or political meetings or anything like that, but I can just create awareness by creating a platform for others to talk about their perspectives and their motivations to do things. So here I am. As I said, I'm a man of action. I like to action things and try and make results the best way I can, and this is one way of doing that. So that's a little bit about me. Today I've got a guest, Jody Reeves, with me. Hi, Dad.
Hey.
Just for a bit of disclosure, just for everyone, Jody's my partner. We've been living together, working together, and raising children together for nearly 25 years now. So she's my first guest on this podcast. I just thought it would be appropriate to get her involved and her insights onto some of these issues. So thanks for joining us, Jody. Just for you, the disclaimer is this is going to be a public video. We're going to this meeting's being recorded. It's going to be posted to YouTube and shared on LinkedIn, social media for the public to have access to and view, and hopefully inspire and help others to speak out about what they're up to as well. So and that's what this is all about. So I'll just ask you the question, Jody. Who is Jody Reeves, and what does she stand for?
Well, I believe I'm just the average Australian woman. Feel privileged that I was able to grow up in the 70s and 80s and see a different life to what there is now. We had a lot more freedom. We could go out and not have to worry about being taped every moment that we were there. There's always challenges and everything, and life is a challenge. And I've just keep on going and doing things that I want to do. No different to really anyone else, really. Just the average person. You just have to. There's downs and there's ups, and you just have to break your way through. Everyone feels depressed. It's part of living, and everyone has bad days, good days, and you just have to realise this is your only life that you know that you're living, and to make the most of it. Stay out of trouble, find something that you're interested in, and try and make your way there, which is what I've always done. So pretty happy with that. I find myself I'm quite strong-minded about certain things. I like to keep to myself. I love all my children, and I make sure I stay out of their life as much as possible with interfering in what their choices are in life. just be there to support them, which I think is missing in a lot of places these days with a lot of people, a lot of children, which is why there's so much crime, which is quite terrible. You don't feel sorry for them, but you can't. I don't know what the solution is to all of that. I think that's what we always all want, is a solution to the crime waves. It's happened these days, probably because there's breakdown in relationships. There's no mother and father relationship anymore. Life is quite a lot harder than what it used to be. So yeah, I feel pretty lucky that I'm strong-minded enough to keep going ahead, plodding ahead, and do what I want to do.
Okay. Yeah, thanks for that, Jody. So I got out of that you like to keep yourself a bit quiet, and just plot about your business. You're not really worried about what anyone else is up to. You just live your life the best you can. Is that basically the summary?
Yeah, that's right. You can't go meddling in other people's lives. I don't like people meddling in my life. I'm lucky that we have each other's support, that we can try different avenues of ways to get through life. We don't agree on everything, just like everyone, but it's all right. That's all right. It's supposed to be like that. It's not supposed to be easy. Like, it's just life. It's all right to be sad. It's all right to be happy. It's all right to cry when things don't work out all the time. Just hard times show you where the good times are. And people take everything to heart and think everything is bad, but it's not really. It's just living. That's all it is.
Just life, just life in general, ups and downs and ins
right.
and outs. Yeah. And I know too that you're very private, and one of your big sayings is what goes behind closed doors stays behind closed doors. Is that something that resonates with you? You just try and keep on many things on your own, and because you're quite strong-willed, I suppose you find that you're not relying on other people to solve any of your issues. You're just taking it all on board and working out solutions yourself.
Oh, well, that's how we're all brought up. What happens behind closed doors stays behind closed doors. That's not always what was probably a good solution to a lot of things, but it works for me, and it's not as if it's a totally different world now to what it was. There was always terrible things happening in every family, like there is today. It was more about people had more control of themselves and more pride in themselves, and they had something they wanted. In these days, it seems like the young ones are so lost that they don't have anything, and they don't have any respect for what anyone else has either. So, that has to change somehow.
Yeah.
I somehow blame the government for it all, because all they want is money for taxes, so they take the parenting away from the parents, and there's no one there for the children to go to school. There's no one there for the children for when they were coming home. There's no one there at the dinner table cooking them a meal. That's what we grew up with, whether it was good or bad. We had good and bad times too. Like, there was alcoholics in the family, there was bad tempers in everyone's families. It was still living like we're living today, but we worked as a family and worked through these things. And these people don't have that these days. There's no connection there.
Yeah.
And there's no friendship. They don't know what a friendship is.
Yeah.
You see it all the time on TV that there's a car accident, and the so-called friends are running away and leaving their friends to sort themselves. That would never happen in our time.
Yeah.
Respect.
Comradeship, or whatever the word is.
Yeah. Everyone had a ticker. No one has a ticker these days.
You reckon people are getting a bit soft? Yeah.
They're all too soft. They all take everything as an offence and everything. You can't say anything to anyone. You offend someone.
Yeah.
So
basically, I'm just very glad is Jody's philosophy. Jody's just living her life the best she can. not trying to impact on other people's lives, and supporting her family and kids the best she can without dictating or interrupting what they want to do or whatever. You're supporting what they want, listening to what they want, and helping them get that without being overwhelming or overbearing on anything that they're trying to achieve.
Yeah, well, your own immediate family is your most important people in your world, or they should be, and you help them out as much as you can. Support them, and a lot of people don't have that support anymore. They don't have that love. They don't have support, and it doesn't matter how much money you got or how much money you don't have. You can still support each other, and that's what should be happening.
Yeah. Okay. Well, thanks very much for your insights today. I know you are a bit camera shy, and you are a very private person, so it's good to hear from you publicly on some of these issues. And I know, for example, with our relationship, we are quite opposite. So it's not even about meeting the same person. I'm very, you're very introverted, I suppose, getting the energy internally and doing things internally, whereas I'm a bit of an extrovert, and I'm loud and I'm out there doing stuff publicly, which is complete contrast to, I suppose, your way of doing it. But for some weird reason, we've managed to get through nearly 25 years. I think 25 years next December, so 24 years at the moment, successfully, and I feel we haven't done too bad.
No, it's all about, as I said, support. You don't have to be the same as the other person. There's two people in a relationship, not one person, and both people should shine in their own ways.
Yeah, that's good advice. Yeah. Okay, well, thanks for joining us today on this first podcast, Jody. I appreciate your insights and supporting me in this new endeavour. And hopefully, as time progresses and we move forward on the series, we might see you again sometime. Thank you.
No problem.
Bye.
Bye.